So the last Polestar I reviewed was the first mainstream Polestar, which was the Polestar 2. It was okay, but it still felt a bit like a Volvo, and that Polestar hadn't got their own mark yet. Really, there hasn't been a new Polestar since last year with the Polestar 3 and 4. Today though, I am going to review the Polestar 4 to see what this sleek Polestar is like. Welcome to Everything Cars and More. So let's start with the design of the new Polestar 4, and it has a completely different look to any other Polestar or even Volvo from that matter. We get some aggressive styling to the headlights with this split headlight design, but still using the Ford's hammer design for the LED daytime running lights. They have these matrix digital technology in them, making them the best headlights ever. The front end is low and sleek and aggressive looking, giving it a true sports car look. The central air vent is quite big and aggressive looking too, and we also have some discreet side vents hidden within the headlights. Really then, a good muscular looking car from the front. Moving around to the side of the Polestar 4, we get a sleek and saloon off-roader look to it. We get this long and low down bonnet design with some matte black seals along the sides, as well as this very aggressive sharp crease. We also have some pop out door handles and a lot of cameras too, and these cool looking door mirrors. The window line is a bit odd for a saloon style car though, but it does make it unique. And I also like how it has a coupe style rear end to it. I even quite like the wheel designs. What do you think? Let me know in the comments section below, and whilst you are at it, don't forget to like and subscribe. Moving around to the back, and this is where the interesting stuff happens. Now, you may be scratching your head asking yourself why the rear end looks odd. Or maybe you already know, as I am quite late reviewing this car, but anyway. Well, it's because it's missing its rear window. The Polestar 4 was one of the first cars without a rear window, and it will soon be followed by the Polestar 5 and a Jaguar, and even a Range Rover. So, now you're wondering, how do you see out of the metal? Well, there is just a little camera on the roof for your rear view mirror, like what Range Rover does. We do also get a sleek rear end design with these thin tail light designs and a light bar. You also get a sporty looking bumper too. Really then, this is one sleek and expensive looking car. Let's have a look to see if the battery and motor options can live up to this car too. So for the Polestar 4 you can get two configurations. Let's start with the base model first. This is called Long Range Single Motor, and this uses a 100 kWh battery pack and a 268 brake horsepower single electric motor. This is mounted on the rear axle, giving this car rear wheel drive. This can do 0 to 62 in 6.9 seconds, which is quite quick, and on a full charge it can do 385 miles. This version charges at a maximum speed of 75 kilowatts, which isn't the fastest, but it isn't too bad, but it may take a little while. This option though will be the most people will pick. The final version is the long range dual motor version, and this uses the same 100 kWh battery pack, but this time adds a motor on the front axle, giving it 4-wheel drive and 536 brake horsepower. This can do 0 to 62 in 3.7 seconds, which is very quick, but it also does come at a slight cost of reducing the range slightly down to 367 miles. Which, to be fair, isn't too bad for the performance, and really it won't be noticeable in the day-to-day driving that people will do. The charging speed on this one though is strangely a lot more at 150 kilowatts, considering it is the same battery and technology. The price of the new Polestar 4 starts at £55,750, but at the time of writing this script, there is a seasonal offer of £5,000 off at the moment, dropping the price to just £50,750 for the base model. Like I said, this would be the one most people will go for, so it is a really good buy at the moment. Right, let's have a look to see what the interior is like. So climbing inside the new Polestar 4, we get a very different interior to any other Volvo or Polestar. To start with, we get this very minimalistic design that wraps around you into the door cards, which I really like. You also have this two-layer design to it with a lot of dark and light colours, making it feel very airy. We even get some hidden air vents, which I like too. Dominating the dashboard is this big infotainment system, and rather than it being in portrait like other Volvos and Polestars, it's in a landscape mode. This infotainment system houses all your functions, which I'm not a big fan of, but at least they are easy to use. And it also runs Android Automotive, which means it is laid out very nicely and uses Google Maps, which is brilliant. One of my favourite functions now is the ambient lighting. It has been done as types of planets. This is a clever quirk, and I do wish more cars would have quirks like this. In front of the driver we get a small for today's standards instrument cluster, but again it houses all of your important information that you need at any given time. The indicator stalk and gear selector stalk are both very nice and premium looking, and I also like how they feel. I also really like the steering wheel too, as it has a premium feel to it and a sporty look to it too. I also like the chrome top dead centre mark, but sadly I'm not a fan of the touch sensitive buttons that Volvo is doing at the moment, where you actually have to guess what each button does. The centre console is very minimalistic now and high up, giving you a sports car feel, which I also like, and I do also like the little volume dial that you still get. There is also a decent amount of storage in the centre console and below it, and finally we get these very sporty looking seats that are much more comfortable than the Volvo style seats, and they are also very supportive and looking great too. Right, let's have a look to see what the rear seats are like. So, sitting in the back of the Polestar 4, and you might think that it is going to feel a bit dark and claustrophobic without the rear window, but Polestar have done some clever trickery here. To start with, they have used a lot of soft ambient lighting on the door cards and behind your head, making your brain think there is a rear window. The glass panoramic roof also stretches past your head, which really helps. What I will say now is that I do really like the design of the back of the Polestar. The door card design is very futuristic with a lot of different layers that look like they are floating. You also get some very comfy seats, and if you fold the middle seat down it reveals an armrest and a centre console to adjust the recline of the outer seats, giving you extra comfort. You also get your own air vents and heated seats too. Practicality wise then, there is plenty of legroom and headroom, especially with this glass roof, making it feel very spacious. Right, let's have a look to see what the boot space is like. So, opening the boot, and you're welcomed with a sort of hatchback style opening, which is very handy for big boxier items. This reveals 526 litre boot size with the seats up, but bear in mind this does include the underfloor storage too. Folding the rear seats down, and this expands to 1,536 litres, which is still very decent. There is also a panel that you can remove, which sort of acts as a parcel wall, so to speak. You also get a front boot, which is small at 15 litres, but more than capable of taking your charging cables. So in summary then, what do I think of the new Polestar 4? Well, it really has the looks. There is nothing quite like it at the moment, and that's what makes this car so special. As I have said before in the Kia K4 review, I did a few videos ago, at the moment cars are looking all the same, and this car really breaks the mould. It's unique and groundbreaking. The interior is also just as good and can easily rival any Porsche any day of the week. Practicality is also good considering that there is no rear window. Overall then, a very decent car. Now, if you don't like the car not having a rear window, or it doesn't have enough space for you, but you do like the interior and its looks, then don't worry, as there will be an estate version coming soon with an actual rear window. Watch this space for that one. So, what do you think of this car then? Leave a comment below, and whilst you're at it, don't forget to give a like and subscribe to Everything Cars and More. I'll see you in the next video.